Hey everyone, real quick before we start this video, I ended up having to break it into two parts due to some editing challenges that I'm having. If you're a visual learner, please bear with me. Tomorrow's video will have a better demonstration of what I'm speaking to in this video. I still think there's some value, so I'm going to play it for you anyway, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Thanks. At the millionaire Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I think we are on day 6. I think we're halfway there. So today we are going to take a little break from all of the decorating and we are going to wrap some gifts. A few years ago, I did a video on how to make a bow and it was really popular. You guys really got a lot out of it, and several of you asked to show how to wrap a gift. So I am finally following up with that and sharing that with you today. So I'm going to wrap two. I'm going to wrap one regular sized gift, and I have two cameras here. So if you can't see this way, you'll be okay because I'm taping it from above as well, and show you some of the techniques that I use. And then I'm going to wrap one of those more awkward square boxes to show you what I use for that too. So I'm opening up some gift wrapping paper that I found at Home Goods, of course. And I try to use the Luxe paper when I'm wrapping gifts for adults. For the kids, it doesn't have to be quite as fancy, but when I'm doing gifts for the adults, I really try to get the most out of a gift presentation. So I also try to coordinate the gift wrapping colors that I'm using that are going to go under the tree with what I have going on the tree. So this year I have a lot of red and white in the tree, so I found this really pretty gold and white paper. The cool thing about the gift wrapping paper now, it wasn't like this back when I learned how to wrap gifts, but the cool thing about the gift wrapping paper now, sorry guys, I'm multitasking today, is that it has measurements for you to cut the paper straight on the back side. So that takes a little of the guesswork out of trying to figure out, you're measuring, and I try to cut the least amount of paper as possible especially when I'm using the Luxe paper, so I can save on paper. So that being said, when I'm wrapping a regular shirt box like this is a little costume I got for my niece. She still likes to play dress up, and most of my kids' dress up stuff it's gone now. So she can either leave this at my house or take it home. But I'll take the shirt box the long way. So it's rectangular shape, right? And so I'm going to line it up with my paper the long way. And I'm going to leave myself just enough at the end to come up to the top of the box on both sides. Okay, so that'll keep you from using too much paper if you measure it that way. Look what I finally got. And do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Okay, so back when I was in high school, I used to work at a department store. The first person who remembers this story, the name of the store I worked at, this is a tough one. I'm going to send you something today. I used to work at a department store during the holiday season, and that's where I learned how to gift wrap. So now I'm just kind of centering this box in the middle of the paper. And I am going to add some tape. You want to make sure that it's straight on the lines that they provide for you. And this is especially helpful because when you're using patterned paper like this, getting the lines straight on the outside can be tricky too. So if you follow the lines on the inside of the paper, you'll be fine. There's Theo in the background, either snoring or just trying to breathe. So now with the tape, I'll just use regular tape on the inside, but the trick that we used professionally back at that store on the outside of the box was to use double-sided tape so that the tape doesn't show. So now you can see that my lines are all lined up pretty perfectly, and then my crease is down here in the center of the box, which is fine because I'm going to use ribbon to cover that up. Now, so the first tip was to line up the edges. Use your measuring lines on the inside of the paper to cut and save paper. That was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to use double-sided tape on the outside when you're ready to tape your paper down to hide the tape. So I'm going to put some here. Hold that down for me, and I'm going to put some here. Now you don't see the tape. Okay. Now, there are a couple different ways you can do the sides. This is where I get a lot of questions. And so I do it one way when I'm using just a regular shirt box, and then I do it another way when I'm using a square box. So I'll show you the shirt box way first. So now we have this box. So I like to take my edges and push the middle in because it's going to automatically make a crease for you. Push the middle in, make a crease. Same thing on the other side. Push the middle in. I really hope you guys can see this, okay? And then I press down. Now, this is another important step. Make sure you make creases on your box lines when you're folding. So right here, you could cut that, but I don't like to cut. So I'll either fold it, but you know what, for the sake of the demo, let me just show you. So here's one little, you don't have to do this though, but if you just don't want the extra paper, you can, all right? Now, bring this side up and make a little crease right there, and then you can simply fold it in, and it'll be perfectly lined up for you. See that? Okay, so now we're going to get our double-sided tape. Tape this side down, and then I'll probably speed through the rest of this so that we can get on to the next box. Put one here. I like to do a lot of tape on the edges so that they stay put. Okay. There we go. Same thing on this side. Am I even recording this right now? I'm going to be so upset if I'm not. And I wasn't. Oh, the joy of trying to film, get stuff done. Okay. A little teeny tiny bit of overage there. So I'm just going to fold that, just like that. And then no cutting. Voila. That I did not mean to do a double-sided tape. You can stick it to itself. And one more. Okay. All right. Now, here is the next tip. Crease your edges. That is really what makes the present kind of feel like it pops. So go down and make a crease, and a crease, and a crease. And that part's done. So now you've got a really pretty start. Edges are all clean. Can't see any tape. Okay, now for the ribbon. Since this is a child's gift, I'm not going to do an elaborate ribbon on this one. I'll do it on the next one for you. So this one I'm just going to make a simple bow. My biggest tip for ribbon is wired ribbon. And you can find wired ribbon anywhere. It doesn't have to be expensive. They have it like at the dollar store. So this is just ribbon that was in my little ribbon stockpile. So I've got way too much here. I'm gonna cut that just a second. Okay. Yep, you know what? It's almost done, so I'm not even gonna cut it. I'll just make a extra large bow and then cut the tails. All right, so now make sure everything's even and just tie your bow. Now I'm going to show you guys how I make a bow, like an elaborate bow, again here in the next demo on the next box. But because she's so little, I'm not going to do that. She won't know how to appreciate it just yet, but my mother-in-law saves pretty much all my bows. She loves them, so she keeps them. And that's really a part of what's fun about, you know, gift wrapping. The present itself can look like a gift if you just take a couple of little extra steps to make it present well, okay? So now I like to tape these down. Someone made a comment in one of the videos the other day that my bows look so perfect. I use tape to tape down the bow tails. Okay, so I'm going to just cut. This is a little uneven, so I'm just going to cut that. All right, and I'm going to put a little tape on the bottom. And there we have it, okay? So very simple. The next one, don't you worry, we're gonna get a little more fancy, but there we go. All right, so that's for my niece. I've got a present wrapped now. Looks really pretty, and it will go under the tree. I'm gonna put a little tag on it for her, but let's move on to the next one. Okay, everyone, I'll see you back here tomorrow for part 2 while I work through my editing challenges. Thanks for your patience. Love and peace.